There are special goats that you can use to race. You have a special breed. But for me, a racing goat is usually a goat that we used to call like a common breed goat. It's a goat that you could take any kind of weather. The person who is racing the goat, like the owner, he will choose the goat because he will look for the structure of the animal. If he's not looking too big, the legs, how the legs are. You know, there are things that we will look for as owners. We know about goat racing, so we know what to look for in the goats. The first thing I know goats don't like, they don't like to swim. They don't like water as much. They could swim very good, but they don't like to get wet. Goats like to stand up on a rock and don't get wet or below a shed. But they love freedom. They love to walk and graze on their own, so they develop better on that way. But the swimming, the wetting, they don't like the wetting. But when you train in the animals, they do. If they are good animals, they get accustomed to the training and they like the training, then you know that you have a good animal. But they really don't like to get wet. I've been training them for a while, so they love to swim. But basically, if you just have a goat and you try to get it in the water, it's a very hard task to get it in the water. But after a while, enjoying the swimming, they will get accustomed to it. Well, I've been in goat racing for about 35 years. And I got interested in goat racing when I saw my uncles racing goats. His name was Codrington Waldron. He used to race a favorite goat named Susie. So from that, I used to watch them racing the goats, and I decided I could take it up because I love this sport. Basically, the goats are really big because of the breed, one, and two, the exercise that we give to them. So you know, when you exercise, you really develop a little more. If you're not exercising, you will just be like normal for your average goat. But if you exercise and stretch as much, you will get a little bigger. So I believe, that's my belief, that if the goats exercise more, they'll grow more. The swimming, the extra running, they will develop more and they will be a little bigger than normal goats. You must feed them well throughout the year. You don't want to just come and just, like when it's race coming around, to just feed them on the race day or a couple days before the race. Yes, you might be lucky and win a race or two, but to get a full performance from the animals, you have to treat them good year round, meaning that you give them racing oats, proper tonic, proper oils and things to just make them feel good throughout the time, so they will perform at their best. I'm not so nervous anymore because being around for 35 years, nervousness doesn't really step into me again. But when I was a jockey, when I used to run the goats, it was a lot more nervous for me because I used to think about if I could beat this man and beat this man. But after running my second year, I realized that it was very easy for me because I understand the animals, and as long as you train with the animals, you will understand the animals. So nervousness never used to step into me. I just used to say, hey, I'm gonna win this one or something like that. And it was simple for me. But now I believe the guys that are running now are much nervous because you might give them a very good animal to run and they may come third and fourth and they say, what's the problem? And the goat is pulling them. If a goat is pulling you, you have no way you're supposed to lose a race. Yeah, well, it's expensive. Most of us who doing this racing is just for like, because it's a tradition. It's a tradition that has been handed down to us. We now are the people that take over the goat racing. Myself, there's a guy, Mr. Potts, Mr. Clark, Mr. James. We are the people who are running the goat races. And we are trying to put things in place to make goat racing better for Trinidad and Tobago people. It's a unique sport, and I would like to see that maybe the assembly or whoever come forward and assist goat racing, because basically right now we are doing it for the love of the sport, and there's no benefits for goat owners. And if the 4 people that I call here should stop goat racing, tomorrow there wouldn't be any goat racing in Trinidad and Tobago. So I hope that the people who are listening would know that goat racing is important to us. If you can see the amount of people that was in Bokuan and Mount Pleasant, and they were so excited about the goat racing, so you must do something better for the goat owners. We are doing it for love right now. Thank you.